Hey there, this is Jen T. Grace, founder of Publish Your Purpose, and I am here today for an author book launch with Maddon and Tina. How are both of you this morning?
We're
Wonderful.
doing great. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you for
so
inviting us, Jen.
absolutely. I
Really
am
appreciate it.
so happy about your book. So I'm gonna put it up here for everyone to see. So it's called
Yay.
Fighting for Change, Andrew Yang's Path Forward. So I want to first ask you, Maddon, what was what was the vision for you putting this, you and your mom kind of coming together to create this book?
Thanks for pulling out a copy, great, Jen. I really appreciate it. You just reminded me that like, oh, I gotta grab my copy too. So I just grabbed mine from the bookshelf really quick, the hard copy and the paperback. I don't think
Nice.
you can see it with the virtual background. But to answer your question, what inspired me to write this book? Um, I think first of all, I think who it's about, Andrew Yang, his life, his campaign, what he fought for. I think that really inspired me, like as a high school freshman in 2019. Uh, I've always been interested in the presidency. I learned to memorize all the presidents from a very young age, but I never actually saw someone like me run for president,
Mhm.
and I kind of just almost idolized this institution for a long time, and but I could never see myself like actually, maybe being a part of it one day. But like seeing him run for the presidency and run on this really profound platform of, you know, reducing income inequality and all this and UBI and innovative policies that I don't think have been proposed before. Uh, an Asian American like me really inspired me, and I wanted to, share that inspiration with other young people and especially other young Asian Americans.
I love
I
that.
just wanted to help other young Asian Americans.
I love that. And Tina, how about you?
Well, I'm an immigrant. I came to the United States when I was 8 years old from Hong Kong. So for me, growing up, it was always very, very rare to see an Asian American in leadership positions, and let alone running for the president of the United States. I
Mhm,
mean, he dared, right?
mhm,
So for me, having kids, I always taught Madden, my son, that we can be anything we want. But for
mhm,
me, I also see that for myself is you have to see people that look like you. That's
mhm,
why representation shapes perception, and that
mhm,
matters. So for me, it's my duty. I feel like is to showcase diversity and a wide range of perspective
mhm.
for the next generation to model themselves after, and
Yeah.
making sure that all the stories are told from those who have experienced these lives. So I'm very excited. And I always tell Madam, one person can make a difference.
Mhm,
Like Andrew, he inspired millions of Americans to join
mhm.
this fight for economic fairness and a better future.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so it's a picture book, and it showcases Andrew's story, right? So it's Andrew Yang's path forward. So who, like, what age range, like, who are you hoping, like, who's the target audience here? Who are you hoping will pick this up and be impacted by
Well, books are for all ages, but
it?
for this book, I think the target audience is around like elementary and middle school. Someone told us that some parts of it, like like there's some big words because it talks a little bit about policy, like his
Mhm,
policies. So maybe like older elementary schoolers to middle school.
mhm.
Yeah, so Jen, I don't know if Madeline told you already, but we won the Nautilus Award for the silver category, and the category is for middle grade nonfiction, age 8 to 12.
That's
And
perfect.
like what Madden said, this book really can be for anybody. I mean, we
Mhm,
have this adult Asian American leader telling me that he was inspired by Andrew Yang's story, by the illustration that we put forth. So we're very excited about that.
yeah, that's so amazing. And so to me, it's obvious that one of the things for both of you is visibility, right? To
Mhm.
show other Asian Americans like, hey, there is a path forward. You do have the ability to run for the highest office in this country. But what are some other things that maybe you're hoping that might happen as a result of maybe that 8 to 12-year-old who gets a copy of this book? So yes, they'll be able to kind of see a path forward for themselves potentially, but are there any other kind of things that you're kind of hoping, whether it's kind of overtly or even secretly, of, oh, I can't wait to hear, get somebody to tell me that this happened as a result?
Well, one thing that someone told me was they gave the book to their client, and the client read it to the 5-year-old kid. Now, talk about the book for all ages. And then he just said, "Mommy, Daddy, I'm gonna work hard like Andrew Yang." So that was so cute. Just the story of working hard, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give up. For me,
Yeah.
those are two big lessons for kids.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Maddon, anything?
I definitely agree with mom. I think working hard, I think definitely inspiring like a sense of ambition for them. Like even if they don't want to run for president,
Mm-hmm.
like wanting to do something for other people, like do something good for their country.
Mm-hmm.
Just helping other people, like inspiring a sense of, I don't know, planting a seed of public service.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. I love that because I feel like we need more people in public service roles that are, like just obviously diversity broadly, but also just different, different lenses of what they'll do when they come into office, which I think is fantastic. And
Definitely.
so I'm curious, like Tina, you and I have had conversations of, like where this book can go, who it can be for, using it in, any number of settings. I definitely think that there's a component for this book being applicable in school settings, for example.
Yes.
So I think if anyone is watching this and they have some tie into a school district and they're like, wow, this would be a great book to bring in for my students,
Right.
I think that's a phenomenal path forward. But I'm curious from a kind of like maybe an adult perspective that doesn't have a child, or maybe there's a grandkid, maybe there's a niece or nephew, maybe there's somebody, right? Is there anything that you would say to that person who might say, you know what, I don't have a late elementary schooler, but here's something you could do with this book for yourself?
Well, for me, I was very excited about having our friend VJ Char that actually illustrate the stories.
Mm-hmm.
And if you flip through a book, the illustration is just so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
For me, one of the sectors just he made it comic book style. So it's just a fun book for everybody to read, not just Asian American,
Mm-hmm.
for anybody looking to be inspired. And then one of the areas that we're hoping, not just for school, is also to donate this book to different charity. So we're working on different foundation, how we can send this book out for donation.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. So if somebody were interested in doing that potentially,
Mhm.
reaching out to you or contacting you, what's the best way that they would do that?
They can send it to Maddon or myself. Our email should be included
Mm-hmm.
in your website.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
And
Yeah.
please reach out to us on that. We're working with one of the foundation to send it to schools and raise monies for kids project on diversity inclusion.
Yeah, which is so phenomenal. Oh, just so good. I'm curious, Maddon, for you, what your experience was in kind of doing this with your mom, because you're 17, you were working on it for quite a bit, right? And so what was that kind of experience to be able to say, not only are you an author, but you are an award-winning author at the age of 17? I think that is so remarkable. I'm curious, like, how that experience was.
Well, the old saying is like never do business with your family. But I actually had a lot of fun with doing this project with my family, and it really was like a multi-year project. Like I got this idea in like 2019, and my mom was like, "Hey, you should write a book about it." And I was like, "What?" and then she's like, "No, you actually should write a book about it." And then I was like, maybe. And then we kind of worked together, formulated the ideas. Mom introduced me to her friend VJ, who's a great illustrator. He does amazing comic book and like political cartoon illustrations. And like my dad helped edit like the book. My sister Mia helped like design some of the characters, some of the pages. I co-wrote and designed as well, and it was just and especially like this was like the bulk of our work was during 2020, the COVID year,
Mhm.
when we were all at home, quarantined. And it was just really nice to be working with something on my family, to have
Mhm.
like something to like it's like our passion project that we did over quarantine.
Mhm.
And I'm so glad we were able to release it like during AAPI Heritage Month. That was perfect timing.
Mhm.
And working with my family to do this was just an amazing experience. And
Mhm.
maybe we should write a second book. That was really fun. And I think winning the Nautilus Award, because someone pointed this out to me, like, hey, you're an award-winning author. And I was like, what? And I guess that never really sunk in with me. But I'm really
Yeah.
grateful for just everyone who supported me on my journey, to like all my teachers who taught me that I can that to write this well, to draw, to try. And I'm really grateful to my friends who helped me,
Mhm.
but most importantly to my family, like my dad, my sister, uh Viche, of course, he's amazing.
Mhm.
And most importantly, my mom, Tina. I couldn't have done this without her. I couldn't have done this without you, Mom. And Mother's Day just passed. I just wanted to let you know I love you.
Yeah, I love you too. This is a wonderful project for me. I learned so much about my son and my family.
Yeah. And it's so awesome that so many parts of your family had a, a contribution to this. So it wasn't just the two of you, even though the two of you very clearly were the ones spearheading it, that you did incorporate other family members and friends where you could, because I think it just makes it more meaningful and special. And there's a legacy component to it too, right? Like and being able to say an award-winning book and an award-winning author, that doesn't go away. Like you're 17 and can say that. You can still say it when you're 47, which I think is such a beautiful thing about books. So I'm really happy and proud and to see how everything has already shaped up, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what this book will eventually kind of do for people, because it's been hasn't been out that long, and I think that there's so much potential with this that it does make me very excited for the future.
I'm looking forward to the future too.
Hey, and I just want to say, Jen, we're so grateful to have Publish Your Purpose as
Oh,
our partner. And for us, I always tell Maddon, everything we do, we need to choose our partner wisely. And I love the mission of your company, your publishing company. I
thank
love that you elevate voices who are usually not heard. And that's really in line with what, our book is about.
you.
Elevating voices that we don't usually, it's not the norm, basically.
Hmm.
So thank you for your work and
Yeah.
Bailey's work, everybody. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting because we typically don't do children's books, but then we do make exceptions every now and then. And
Yes.
you are one of the very few exceptions that we make because of that mission and how directly it aligns to what our mission is. And when we had that conversation, it was like, oh my God, we have to do this. Like this just seems like such a no-brainer. And and we have talked about that there are plenty of other books similar to this that
Yes.
could be a whole series basically. And so what I'm really looking forward to and really optimistic about is that there will be school districts that say this is something we need to bring into our classroom so we can help our students feel seen and
Yes.
validated and give them that path forward. And I think that to me is where the real movement and change is going to be. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this all plays out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
thank
very
you so
excited.
much, Jen and Bailey, and just everyone at the Publish Your Purpose team. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, you are very welcome. And so, those who are watching either today while we're live or could be 5 years from now. So, Tina and Maddon's information will be available on the PYP website. So, if you want to directly reach out to them, you can certainly go there and do that. The book is available pretty much wherever you can buy a book. So, if you go to any online bookstore, you should be able to find it. If you go into a physical bookstore, you should be able to ask them to order it for you. I am a big fan of bookshop.org, which is a certified B Corp. And that means they have a commitment to environmentally friendly practices and social responsibility and all of those amazing things. That Publish a Purpose is also a B Corp. So, if you can support bookshop.org, that was my first recommendation. But it is available on places like Amazon, for example, where the majority of people are buying their books. So you can access it pretty much anywhere. And I would encourage you to think about, buying it maybe for yourself, but then also buying it for a friend, or maybe it's that person in your life where you're like, wow, I think their kid might be able to benefit from this. So really just make it something that can be a gift giving type of book rather than just buy it for yourself and not tell anyone about it. Buy it for yourself and then buy it for everybody else. That is my PSA.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Jen. It's a great gift.
you.
It is.
Got any birthdays coming up? Think about that.
Heather, can you tell them some of the proceeds where it goes to?
Absolutely, please do.
Yeah, definitely. But like Tina said earlier, we're definitely trying to get this, to school districts and use funds to support diversity and inclusion projects. But also, we've raised over like $2,000 already for anti-AAPI hate causes. We started raising money when the book first released in 2021, and we're over $2,000 now. It's really a cause that's important to us as Asian Americans. We want to help victims of hate crimes, and we want to stop ones that may be coming. So we just want to fight API hate and raise some money for the community.
I love that. Tina, anything to add?
Thank you. My son says us all. Thank you.
Yeah, that's amazing to already have raised $2,000. That's a lot. And what's interesting is the direct tie-in that you have of we're using this book to help raise money, to help impact other people. There are plenty of authors in this world that don't donate a penny to other organizations. And so the fact that you've already been able to do that much in such a short period of time, I think is, again, remarkable. So, thank you for doing this work. And hopefully that kind of creates that snowball effect where more people will see it, more people will talk about it, more people will buy it, more donations happen. And so it's a nice cycle that people can get involved in. So if you're on the fence about buying it, just know that if you do, there are proceeds that are going toward organizations that are doing really impactful work. And so I love that. Everything was so intentional with this.
Well, last thing is, I want to say thank you to Vijay Char, our illustrator. Without him, this book will not be possible. Thank you to Gary Ho, my husband. Without his editing skills, this book will also not be happening. And then, my daughter, Maddon Hoh-Choi, the designer and the thinker behind how it should be aligned, things like that. She's just amazing. So thank you to all of them.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you both so much. I know it took us a little bit to get this interview on the calendar. We were all kind of quietly sitting on the fact that you won this award. And now that that's public information, we can actually finally celebrate this day. So hopefully it's the first of many awards. That's my hope for you. Hopefully there's more to come.
And first of many books too.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
Love that. Well, thank you both so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. And like I said to everyone watching, please go check out their book on wherever you buy your book. Just please do it, pass it along. We would appreciate it. So thank you very much. I'll see the both of you soon at some point. And then for everybody else, I'll be back, in the next couple of weeks with someone else who is launching a book.
Thank you so much.